Welcome back to the Watch Along podcast, the podcast where we watch shows and movies, and you can watch them with us. I am Chris. Today we're bringing you a bonus episode for episode 2 of House of the Dragon. We, of course, did the first episode in one of our main feeds, so if you haven't listened to that already, go check it out. We drop those every week, and we'll be dropping another main feed episode for you guys with Lock and Key. So if you haven't already, check that out. With me, I got the boys as per usual, full staff here for the House of the Dragon episode. We got Keith. What's up, man?
What's up? All hands on deck for this one.
All hands on deck. That's right. Farrell, what's up, man? How you doing?
This episode was fucking fire.
Yeah. Completely out of context. We're getting ready to record our main episode to find out why we're doing wicked fucking accents. Listen to the main episode where we talk about Good Will Hunting. My God, there are some good accents in that. We can't stop. You can't hold it back. We should just do a whole.
Why didn't they have any of those accents in Game of Thrones?
That's true.
It's a great train of Boston accents.
Watch out! There's a fucking dragon coming.
Hey pal, watch out!
The fucking dragon's gonna hit the Duncan. My God.
That dragon's from the fucking Southie.
Yeah, so that's perfectly on topic. Make sure you check out our other episode where I hope not, but there will probably honestly be plenty of Boston accents thrown around. But
that's a tough difficulties there.
I'm actually going to be using my Game of Thrones accents during the Good Will Hunting episode.
Yes. Just completely mix up the timelines that
in my own head.
You have to listen to every episode. Maybe they are. Who knows? I mean, has it been confirmed or denied that Game of Thrones?
Well, Daenerys did have a Dunkin' coffee in the fucking.
Oh, that's true.
Actually,
I think it was Starbucks.
Starbucks, yeah.
Does Seattle exist?
There's also some dump trucks in both.
Some dump trucks? Yeah, there are some dump trucks. That's for sure. That is for sure. Yes. So back on task here. We'd be fired at Amazon already. So back to House of the Dragon, episode 2. Coming in, I think we were all excited. We all rated episode 1 pretty highly. I think it averaged out with a 9 point. We got a 8.61 was our rating for the first episode. How are you boys feeling going into the second? What did we get anything delivered that you guys were looking for?
Yeah, first episode, straight fastball down the middle. This one's more of a setup pitch. We didn't have too much action, but we set it up for a shit fest after.
It's a 1-0 count. 1-0 count.
Yeah.
This one, I like this one a lot. I agree with Farrell. Well, not a lot of action, but like kind of setting the table for some, throwing in a new potential bad guy, a new conflict. So I think there's a lot to be excited about.
It definitely teased you with the action there. No spoilers, but you thought shit was about to go down for a second.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so while we're outside of spoilers, let's. I think we all obviously have this. We like to do a watch list or skip it. I think we've all kind of said that House of the Dragon is on our watch list, and I think it's probably, correct me if I'm wrong, but it's staying there. We're watching the whole season. We're signed up.
Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure. It's like a calendar thing now. Like me and my wife are.
My wife.
Yeah, something to look forward to. Feels like old school, like TV Sunday night. Like, let's go.
That's what I would say for my kind of vibe check while we're outside of spoilers is my wife has never watched Game of Thrones. Just she watched a few episodes, just wasn't really into it. And keep in mind, this is first season Game of Thrones. Wasn't her thing. We tried to jump in after the fact, after it already aired. But I caught her up. She watched episode 1, and now we've both watched episode 2. And she's all in. I'm all in. And the one thing I said to her is it's getting messy very fast, but not slow paced at all. We're straight into the mess. So yeah, I like the normal. Get down on the couch, watch us for an hour every Sunday. I like the scheduled TV. You don't know you miss it until you get it.
TV brought America's families together.
That's right. That's right. That's
one of those you got to pause to leave the room shows.
Yeah, pause to do anything. Pause to answer a kid's question as they walk in there. You got to pause Game of Thrones if the kid's anywhere near. Anyways, you can't have that risk roaming
You
around.
never know what's coming.
I feel like episode 2, I would dare to say, almost family friendly.
Eh,
I don't remember anything bad.
I don't directly recall anything bad. No,
There was
definitely
some-
not like episode 1.
some graphic like violence.
Was there?
Yeah.
Yeah, on the
Um,
beach.
So let's let's go.
Never
We're
mind. I
tiptoeing
take it back.
around. Let's just do you guys have any what's your guys' vibe on the show? Anything before we start to get able to talk these nitty-gritty details?
Yeah, while not like we said, while not a action packed, like we won't think back on this as being a great episode. But that being said, I'm higher on the show now than I was a week ago. Like
Mhm.
they're more like my faith is hardening, and I think that I'm pretty my faith is super
Your
hard.
faith, my lord.
I'm pretty sure that
Hard.
It's
we're gonna
rock
get
hard.
we're gonna get a good season here.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I felt the same way. Just a perfect setup pitch for the rest of the season. I definitely feel like high level Game of Thrones vibes. Like it's gonna be the best parts of Game of Thrones.
I'm ready to be heard again.
I was about to say there's a point in the middle of it where I said too many things are going right, and then it happened. It went wrong.
Perfect. Yeah, I feel the same way. I'm excited. I love watching this. This is great. Sign me up. I'm watching the rest. We got, now it's a scheduled thing for me. I'm excited. I'm super excited. I think they found what worked. They went back and said what worked about Game of Thrones. We know what people hated. What worked? Let's get back into it. Let's slide right in and hit them hard, hit them fast, and I appreciate it. Hit me harder. Perfect. So yeah, we're gonna. Do you guys want to throw some ratings on this? I know we don't have them ready necessarily, but you wanna just wing this shit and throw a rating on episode 2?
Yeah, sure. I'll give it an 8.
Give it an 8. Yeah, I would give it a solid 8.5 myself.
I had a 9.1 last week. I would give this 8.2.
Hold on, let me do the math here on the fly.
Actually, a calculator?
Yeah, I use one of like the receipt ones over here. 8.23 repeating is our rating on the second episode. What, Farrell, you're giving a dirty look in the. Are you not trusting my trusty calculator here?
No, I am blind.
Okay, you look pretty blind. 8.3
With glasses.
is what we're giving the second episode here. So pretty good. We're starting out hot. We come from the 8.61, just a little notch down, and it's probably due to the lack of action.
Yeah, because I mean, on its own, it's not, like it's more of it's like a good song on an album, that may not work great on its own, but it's perfect where it's at. That's kind of how this is going to be, I think.
It gave me more. I was more excited about this one than I was the first one. And without going through our nitty gritty calculator and picking out, the things that I thought were weak, I think it maybe won over a couple points there for me. But yeah, so it's great. Let's jump into spoilers. Let's go right into it. This is a bonus episode. We do what we want here. You know what I mean? We're willy nilly over here. So with spoilers, what was some of your guys' favorite parts? What were we looking at here?
I got chills when the part about stealing the dragon egg and taking it back to Dragonstone as just being a motherfucking move. Like fuck you guys. But when those clouds moved and that dragon popped out, oh my gosh, chills there.
So I was a boy in the beginning where I said I don't want the dragons beat down my throat, right? Yeah.
Yeah, but now you want them.
Those fucking clouds moving, dude, like a shark in the water. Oh, God,
I mean, I was
good.
it was surprising too. 'Cause I was fully like convinced that he was just gonna fucking burn them all with his dragon. Like
I did too.
I was
Yeah,
fully
same.
ready. I'm like, this is Game of Thrones. This fucking shit will happen.
I think
it was
Otto
actually
was
like
expecting the
It
same.
was actually like a great little scene where it's a surprise. I don't think I was definitely not expecting Daenerys to come.
Yeah, the show of power paid off.
Yeah, it was a good idea to because they kind of subtly did it, unless I miss it, but they skipped ahead 6 months.
Yeah,
They did, yeah.
That was a good call. So we got everything laid out, and then you get the little time jump, and you realize that Damon's out, kind of doing his own shit. But to kind of see him to get there, see Dragonstone, have a little dragon tease. Was pretty cool, and I mean there was a tense moment because that's the good thing about, like, I know we're not in Game of Thrones anymore, but like that suspense is still there, knowing that at any given time, like, the world's just ready to be turned on its head.
I think that's why Game of Thrones was special from all their shows, because main characters never get killed off in typical shows.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, staying in Dragonstone, I love that time jump. I love that Damon's off doing just bad shit, just being a baddie, dude, taking over Dragonstone, stealing eggs,
The second wife,
stealing eggs in the night. Well, they're not married yet, right? He said she was caught off guard by that they said that, you know, that he told them that they were getting married and everything. So yeah, it's interesting. I like Damon's becoming the bad guy. And again, we said it last week, he's so fucking ugly. I'm just glad he's a villain. I couldn't look at this guy as a protagonist. Yeah, he can't possibly be a protagonist. He's just so goddamn ugly.
I mean, to follow up on him being interesting, the bit that he has going on with Corlys, that's going to be obviously, like, that's kind of the ideal way to go after, you know, his daughter was not picked for the king. So that could be interesting, especially considering, like, that he's a master of ships, and it could create some real problems for King's Landing, you know, being a port city. So
yeah, I was thinking, like, he has the gold clicks, that's like his army, but it's obviously not enough. So I was wondering how he will become a legitimate threat, because currently, if the king wanted to march on Dragonstone, they could easily take it out. So yeah, they have more dragons, they have more troops, but now with the ships coming, I personally think he's gonna get in a alliance with the free cities too. Maybe not the crab people, but like eventually free cities.
People.
You know what's interesting about him is, like, because they say the thing, like, when a Targaryen's born, you know, the gods flip a coin, yada yada, and they're either like mad or somewhere, you know, or nice, you know. But like, he is like the only one we've seen that has a combination of, like,
Yeah, soft spots.
like but like he's an asshole, but like he's not so angry that he makes bad choices. So that probably makes him, like, particularly dangerous, because, like, he could have torched them all right there, but by waiting, he was able to, you know, it looks like he's going to make an alliance and stuff. So I think he's a pretty good villain so far.
Yeah, he is kind of too, because he hasn't really shown that he wants to overthrow the king. If I'm not mistaken, like, he just simply wants to be heir to the throne, like he, you know, I mean, by the law, rightfully should be.
Except for the speech about how his brother's unfit to be king.
Well, I mean, you know, one can criticize, but he doesn't. Yeah,
Thinks he's a bad king. Yeah,
he thinks he's a bad king. Thinks he's.
Yeah, I thought that was a really good scene where he throws the egg back, because one, he, you know, implied relationship with his sister there, or niece, I mean, and he kind of shows, like, I wouldn't hurt you. I might kill these guys, but I wouldn't hurt you. And then he has a little soft moment with his concubine turned future wife / mother, I guess.
Yeah,
unknowing
wife.
captive.
Yeah, I don't know. Captive / yeah, I don't know. She made it very clear she's not captive. I know that.
She's liberated.
But he definitely showed some of that soft spots. I mean, legitimately, I mean, he has the best claim, you know?
Yeah, I think it'll be interesting to see what he does. I do think crab people are going to potentially be an ally. I think that might be how they squash the beef over in the Stone Steps. You know, maybe there's a large alliance, or at least the three cities, like you said, will be, you know, the group up they get.
But like the little snippet we saw of the crab feeder, they didn't exactly seem like reasonable people. I think they might be a wild card.
I think they might be wild card.
I don't think there's alliance with them. I think it's who kills them first gets that shipping lanes kind of thing.
And
so act
plus,
fast.
Yeah, because you hear, like, at the end when they're doing the whole, like, next time on Dragon Ball Z.
Oh, I don't watch those. I don't fuck with those. I hate those things.
One of the crab people's, like, you hear the dragon and where the crab people are, like, so someone's attacking them with the dragon probably.
Can't believe you watched the previews. I hate previews, dude. I wish they wouldn't put them in shows. I don't watch them. I don't fuck with that.
I like it because they like to, especially Game of Thrones, once they misdirect you. So I like to be misdirected.
Do they? Do they misdirect you
Yeah.
in the previews? That's dumb. Oh, come on.
Not all the time. Sometimes they'll be right,
on.
sometimes they won't. You just can't trust it.
So we did bring up the proposed marriage. How are you guys feeling about
Elephant in the room.
how are you guys feeling about this very awkward proposed marriage? I mean, how can you be shocked that that gets turned down? You know what I mean? You can't just, hey, I know your wife died 6 months ago, but here's my 12-year-old daughter. She's got good blood. Like that. That's not enough of a pitch, right? Can't be.
Can't you future betrothed or something? Like I will marry her when she.
That's called betrothed. Yeah.
I'm saying like don't have to mess with it. But I know they're like kind of like you have to have a baby within the next 4 or 5 years kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's kind of at the point where like,
Strengthen up the line.
gross, but yeah, like I think he's okay with 15. But
yeah, I mean,
I
he didn't go
guess-
far from that, right?
Yeah. So, but I mean, I guess that's kind of the world. Like he views the Hightower girl as a woman, and he sees the other one as a little kid. So, I guess different bar, but I guess he does have some sort of morals. But
yeah, morals.
I'll say this series is turning out to be like he's a good guy.
he's
like
too
not-
likable.
After we just said, yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
back
dude,
then,
good.
15s.
No, right? Yeah, you got to put that away because it's just that's just how the world is.
I
I agree.
wasn't super into it.
To put it this, like how normal it would have been for him to choose the other girl. His daughter was upset with him that he picked her friend instead of the freaking 12-year-old. So it's like,
there's no way to not seem crazy.
She's like, I'm just glad it's in the family. She wanted a cousin, but got someone out of the family. So you think she could live with that? But.
Yeah. So, are you more confident in the Hightower alliance than you would have been with the Queen who never was?
I don't really like the Hightower hand that much. I think he's a sheep or a wolf in sheepskin.
Fuck you. Fuck you.
I agree.
Fuck you guys. A Hightower. I mean, he's sketchy. Otto's sketchy, right? And he's also very sketchy for trying to sell off his daughter.
I
have a soft spot.
What's the other guy's name, Keith? I know you had mentioned it.
I want to say Corlys.
That sounds right. I mean, I would say he's more honorable based on what I've seen than.
I think it's a better alliance. I mean, they're from what we've been shown, like they're one of the most powerful houses, aside from having the Valyrian blood, which is seems to be a pretty big plus for for most of their choosings. But yeah, I mean, I think just based off his counsel, the counsel that he received, I think it was a tactical mistake. Like I think everyone views it as a tactical misstep. The only person who wanted this was Otto Hightower, who laid those plans minutes after the Queen died. So it's like, it just has a reek to it. And obviously, you get a little bit of his perspective for a reason. So I could see him making some moves detrimental.
I'm an Otto fan. I'm a Hand of the King simp. I like it. I mean, he's a greaseball, but he's got a big brain. He's making big brain moves. Even while the King's getting treatment with the maggots or whatever the larvae are, he notices. He says, "Oh, here's this. Corlys has proposed his daughter." He makes the quick move of like, I'm going to trigger his emotions and I'm going to make him like, think about this of, oh, it's your duty. He he gaslights the fuck out of him. And he's playing the game, man. He's in, if you will, it's like a game for the throne almost.
Yeah, it is almost like that.
I'm sad to see him go.
I definitely thought he was going to get fucking roasted and toasted on that bridge. And I think he did too.
And the actress that plays Rhaenyra, I know she eventually changes to a different actress because of age difference.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people are hyping her up, saying she carried the first episode for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we talked about last week, like how we like the political intrigue. So there's definitely a ton of that going on, which is really cool. So
I'm about it. I'm about it. We get a little tease of the dragons. I think that's about as much as I want. I would have been down for a dragon fight there, as long as the setting's right, and that setting was right with the clouds sitting low, and right there at Dragonstone, which is arguably like the coolest keep.
We're gonna get some aerial dragon fights for sure.
I know it's in the preview. You know,
they did
what they sold it with.
some sneaky stuff to keep these scenes not. I mean, obviously it wasn't cheap, but to kind of do what they could, like the way that they were shooting, like the bridge, and you could like the backdrop was just the big blown up dragon on either side. That was pretty cool. So.
Yeah, because I know Game of Thrones' problem was budget with the dragons. Like they cost a lot. So I think trying to keep them out with other people is probably the goal, like having them individually. So I don't think there was a lot of shots where it was close up with a dragon and a person
touching dragons and whatnot. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh my god! I just completely lost my train of thought. What terrible radio. I do still hate this fucking. I hate Daemon's dragon. I think it's ugly. I think it's the worst dragon ever conceived. I don't like it. Worm. I don't like it.
I was looking up some lore on the dragons, and it's like a special type of species. The dragon has a longer neck. That's why it's like super disproportionate with its neck.
I hate it. It makes me super uneasy and super uncomfortable. It looks like something a worm you would have in your stomach.
Also, there are 8 generations between Rhaenyra and Daenerys.
Nice.
Wow, yeah. That's a lot for.
Sounds like a lot of short lives.
Yeah, that's a lot for.
Well, I mean, when
less
you're
than 200 years.
Picking 15-year-old wives, there's a lot, less time between generations than what we would have.
That's true. Oh, so before I lost my train of thought there, I do remember I have some breaking news. I have some information to bring you because I remember on our last episode we had a conversation about Daemon's helmet. Do you remember this and how Keith, you brought up the fact that it might be impractical to wear that helmet into battle?
Probably a tourney helmet.
So it does look like it's a show helmet, but if you watch back the City Watch scene where they're, killing everyone, he simply
delivering
justice, if you will, making King's Landing great again. He removes the wings. So it looks like the wings are the ornament. The wings are detachable. They do come off, and when the wings are on, he's showing out.
Put it in sport mode.
He put it in sport mode.
Game of Thrones, some of the houses have different like ornaments on top, like the antler for the elk and stuff like that. So I think
like the high tower one.
Put it in sport mode to drain the swamp. That is the King's Landing.
Oh, I did see a funny thing. This is actually about episode 2 at all. Episode 1, the tourney like area, people were posting side-by-side pictures of Robert Baratheon timeline tourney area, which is like very traditional medieval with like wood benches and like ropes in front of the crowd. And then they showed like the Targaryen area where everything is like hand-carved stone, like benching, and everyone's like, Rob Baratheon, poor as fuck, huh?
Yeah, he broke Baratheon.
And how
maybe he just likes some more simple. He likes to get down in the mud. Maybe he just likes some more simple jousts.
He was drunk the whole time. He probably wasn't worried about that.
Yeah, it's hard to get muddy when you're in an arena.
Season 1.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, you guys have anything else before we cut out of our bonus episode? Again, this is just about episode 2 of House of the Dragon. We're gonna have plenty more. We'll try to keep, do these for every episode, but we are definitely gonna have a season review that drops to the main feed.
Here's my guess here. I'm gonna say the Queen Who Never Was is gonna play a huge role in the next couple episodes.
Okay.
Yeah, she's definitely trying to poke at Rhaenyra's. My question, I'll pose something outside of the actual show. People were complaining in Game of Thrones how they were traveling so quickly from like location to location. So I wonder if people are going to complain about that as well, or if that was just a side effect of them hating the way the show is going.
What the fuck? What do they want? Like a Mando thing where they like walk across the fucking
Well, they
Yeah.
like that. Like people like that. Like there's that whole
We
season
got
of
too
like
much. We got too much
Jamie
shit to
and
cover.
Brienne like traveling down the King's Road and shit. So I'm just curious, just a social
Oh,
social
we got a lot of
observation
time.
for
We
me.
got a lot of time to cover. I think I love the whole 6 months in between. So for me, I'm enjoying the pace for this one. But yeah,
Yeah.
I do agree with you. Sometimes shows do skip that kind of shit when they could, but I don't think that applies.
Yeah,
here.
I mean, I personally don't care. I'm just very curious to see if, like, I bet if the show turns bad, that will become a complaint. But I
I
doubt we
would
see
say
much
that.
about it now.
I think that's a silly complaint because how much travel do you want to see? You know what I mean? Like there's times when it's appropriate. I think like if that's the whole thing that someone's doing, like if Arya is going from point A to point B, then you want to see that. Or, if it's appropriate, like it's a big journey on a ship or something like that. But I
Like
don't think if
the
nothing's happening.
timeliness is what bothered them. Like how quickly, like
Yeah,
spoilers for Game of Thrones, but how quickly like they got the White from north of the wall all the way back to King's Landing. It happened like super quick. So stuff like that. But I mean, as long as it doesn't create a plot hole, I think like there's no reason not to just kind of cut it as short as you can.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't
There's
feel.
only, I mean, how can you make it? Only thing monologues is like how you would make travel time entertaining, and how much of that do you actually want? What do you want? What are you willing to sacrifice to get this little shot of them traveling? I agree, as long as it's not making like a plot hole of, oh, he got here faster than they did, and they would have technically been, 100 miles closer or some shit like that. Then I'm
Right.
down.
feeling very satisfied at the end of the episodes where I feel like I got enough to satisfy me. Like there's some shows where it ends and I'm like, nothing really happened, but this show I feel like it's perfect length and enough action to get me through.
Feeling good
Yeah.
about it, and I'm also feeling good about the dialogue that like they're having because that's what the later seasons of Game of Thrones lacked. Was like the dialogue was still there, just wasn't compelling. And like
Sure.
now, when the characters are interacting, it's actually good and like feels important to the story. So I'm glad that that's back.
Thanks, George.
Completely agree. Yep. I'm happy with the politics
Write
of
the
it.
fucking book.
Yeah, right.
I'm happy. I'm happy that's where we're sitting as politics rather than action. I think we're probably going to get about 2 episodes of action would be my prediction. Is I think we're about to get some fucking fighting big time.
Crabs.
Maybe
Get some
we're going to be getting crabs. We're getting crabs big time, and we might be getting some. I mean, it sounds like if you watch the preview, we're getting dragons. I don't watch previews. I don't like spoilers. That's just me. Yeah, so I mean, I think that's it for our bonus episode here. Make sure you catch us over on the main feed. Like I said, our latest episode is going to be about Lock and Key and Good Will Hunting as we watch through the IMDb's top 100 list. Lock and Key is a favorite show of ours from when the podcast first started. It's the first show we reviewed. So we're going to talk about maybe how disappointing this last season might be. I'll give you a little preview, I think. So check out the main feed. Make sure you're subscribed. Follow us over on Twitter. I'm not gonna do all the stuff because we're in a bonus episode. But subscribe, leave a review. Reach out on Twitter, and catch us on the main feed. See ya.
Bye.